Welcome and greetings and hello again. So I've been being with the space opening to within, externally, the collective consciousness and the collective unconsciousness. And I've pulled 3 cards. Well, it was 2, but I had a connection with one angel, so I pulled the angel card for that particular angelic resonance. So I'm going to start. The first 2 cards that I pulled was the Archangel of the Aurora. I'm trying to not catch light there. And then in another pack, Swallow the Sun. The card for the Archangel of Grace is the Archangel Haniel. And you could say that above the lotus and with the wings there, it's very much like a sun shining really brightly there. So the sun is very present in this transmission, communication, channeling, reading, healing, you could say. And while I've been with this, I have felt a lot of sorrow and a lot of grief coming up with the collective, which is not a surprise given what is being illuminated. We're in this time of illumination, so a lot of shadow, and with all the sorrow and the suffering and the wars, a lot of pain, a lot of grief about what could have been, what was, what might be, and a lot of fear and hope around that. So I'm going to read what David Matthau, he's the artist for this angelic pack, what he says about the Archangel Aurora. Archangel Aurora, trust and hope. Subtlety and lightness, magnificence. Spread your wings of light and fly freely. I'm just going to get the card. Without baggage. Let go of ties and free yourself of unnecessary loads. Radiate beauty, trust and breathe. Feel the relief when unloading yourself of all that is heavy along your path of ascension. Lighten the load and let go of the unnecessary stones in your backpack. Fly swiftly with light baggage and ascend majestically, radiantly, elegantly, and beautifully as you are made of light. Light is always within you, shining and showing you the right path for every situation. Have confidence and hope that there is light and life beyond the darkness. Amidst confusion and doubts, remember that you are the divine light. Peace will fill you and will open the door to clarity so that you can make the right decisions and carry on moving forward gracefully. Let go of ties that were keeping you anchored in sorrow, in the darkness of your deep emotions and a life full of worries. Stop doubting the radiant beauty of your soul and dare to live in the freedom that comes from being yourself. Your light and beauty do many good things and inspire others to improve themselves. You are perfect just as you are. Show your beautiful light to the world. Center yourself in the light of your own heart. This is your best anchor at the times when you feel unstable. You can rise above any circumstances because of the connection to your infinite inner wisdom. You can fly over situations, giving yourself a wider and truer perspective and detaching yourself from the biased thoughts, prejudice and guilty feelings that were blocking you. It's interesting here that he says, you are perfect just as you are. Because I was contemplating, not so far away from doing this reading, that what is perfection? For years and years, I sought perfection in myself. And yet, in that seeking, it wasn't my heart seeking that. It wasn't my soul seeking that. It was my ego, my wounded ego. For with that seeking perfection came criticism, comparison. I'm having problems with words today. Comparison, judgment, criticism, shame, and blame. So I then thought, surely the word perfection didn't hold this meaning. There's been a distortion to that, a misunderstanding with that. For there is harmonic resonance, harmony, beauty all around us, and you can call that perfection. Sometimes when we're struggling, in pains, having challenges, suffering, we can think that is not in the perfect way. We've chosen the wrong path. And yet, this has been how so many of us expand. We learn, we grow through that resistance, through that challenge. We like to push ourselves. There's that compression. But too much of that can swing the balance so that we become stuck, overwhelmed, heavy with grief, even despair, anger, rage, fear. Hopelessness. So the sun is so needed. Years and years and years ago, I think it was in my 20s, I had the phrase, the brighter the light, the darker the shadow. I was very much aware how much the light illuminates that which has been hidden. And the sun is shining very brightly at the moment. So I wish to focus on these phrases here. You, me, we are radiant, beautiful, it is time for us to share our beauty and light to the world. And as we do this, this is our best anchor at these times when we feel so unstable. We have that phrase in Britain, the rug being pulled from under our feet. So remembering light is always within us, that central sun, shining and showing us the right path for every situation. It is time for us to lay down these burdens, this, what you might call karma, wounds, ancestral trauma, patterns, programming. It's interesting in what he's written, David Mattau have written about Haniel, which is the angel of grace, because I'll read what he says here. I actually don't think he's actually said grace. This is what he does say. Communicate your truth. Materialize your ideas. And express it with joy. Your words are creative. Manifest your divine ideas that transform and help create a better world. Everything is in motion and can change. The clear and luminous turquoise ray of Archangel Haniel invites us to communicate our truth. Connect with repressed or blocked feelings with joy and express them creatively. In this way you will free them, regaining your drained energy. This energy is necessary to create new, more harmonious realities. You are a creator. Manifest your divine ideas that transform and help the world. You are responsible for what you manifest and transmit, because this will materialize and create realities. Let your words be wise, charged with good intentions, and focus on the attainment of your divine purpose on earth. Everything is in motion and continuously changing, like night and day or the lunar cycles. Everything can change. Take a big leap in your evolving journey and observe how a new world is possible. Trust and allow that your inner sun will open you up like a beautiful lotus flower, realizing the aroma and freshness of your soul and offering your beauty, light and truth to the world. So rather than focusing from the head, the mind, how about we feel that? When we speak our truth, there are many truths, but I feel the overriding one is from the heart. What I recall just then as being in many circles over the years, shamanic circles, spiritual circles, from different spiritual paths, that when a person, when I've witnessed others, it's when I've witnessed others, when they're held in that spiritual sphere, that globe, that space, that temple, when there's permission just to be, something breaks. It's that wall, that scaffolding maybe, that the wall and the scaffolding. And it can feel like a crumbling, a melting. You're having to support all that weight, all those stones in the baggage that we're carrying. And there's that pressure, that internal pressure, our heart and soul, when we're allowed to lay down those burdens. But in order to lay down those burdens, we need to be witnessed. We need to be held and to be seen. Sometimes it's not enough to be on our own with that. We need to be witnessed as a group, because some of this trauma is a group trauma, is not just an individual trauma or an individual karma or an individual wounding. And so we are moving more and more into the ability to hold the group through this process, because many of us have been going through this process. I'm getting really hot with this, as there's a lot of energy coming through. I just have to, before my glasses slip off. Because as individually we've been on this journey of clearing that baggage. And so more of us are gathering we're finding ourselves moving to this circle. We are creating this circle. And we're realizing, oh, there's more of us gathering together. And as we gather together, so we can heal the collective trauma. The trauma that is vast. At the end of 2024, I'm going to share something here. A visionary lucid dream that I had, which is very pertinent. At the end of 2024, I had this dream. I found myself wake up in the dream, so it became lucid. And I was standing in this old spaceship. It was old in that it seemed like really rusty and like sort of industrial. It was been around for a while and it was really big. And I suddenly found myself there and what am I doing here? And then this man, it was a human, this middle-aged man suddenly lunged at me and grabbed hold of me. He was desperate. He was in such fear and upset. Upset isn't quite the word. I don't know quite how to... Terror, fear, distress, extreme distress. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why? And he was hanging onto me for his dear life. And I then heard screaming. And I looked over. There was like a big window. It feels funny to say a window in a spaceship. Like a viewing gallery. And people were crying and screaming. And I realised that there had been a planet. And it was gone. I then woke up. And I was, relieved I woke up. I was breathing. This planet was here. Then the grief. I was a bit in two minds feeling whether or not to share this, but it did come up today when I was walking in the woods today, and now it's come up again. So I was meant to share this. Now, in my own personal path, in 2025, I had multiple bereavements. I even got scammed with my self-employed business, bereavements from my soul dog. She felt like the world to me. It was interesting. Bereavement in family, bereavement in friends, then the loss of what I felt safe in my home. One of the friends was my neighbour. It just felt in every part of my life. However, I'm physically very well, mentally very well. So in a way, you could interpret that might have been a prediction of everything being taken away from my world, my reality, what I had been I had been very happy with, all these different elements and all these parts, and then gone. Within 4 months, gone. So I know about grief now. I can say I know about grief. I didn't before, but it's interesting. I had that memory from a parallel time to then everything happening in my personal life, to where we're now heading in the collective. And so there are a lot of, and I know a few of us are aware of this, that there is a lot of trauma being reenacted unconsciously, not just from the human history, but from the galactic history. And it can be overwhelming. Now, luckily, there are many timelines. There's parallel timelines. And so we move between them. We are not just on our own either. And so we have been healing over multiple timelines. And because it's a lot, some of it we're not totally have been aware of. That's bad English, but we've not all been aware of it. Because to be aware of it all at once would be re-traumatizing and too much. We wouldn't understand, we would probably go into the re-traumatizing again and go into blame and shame and everything else. So there is another reason, a very good reason, it's a protection, that we have been peeling the layers of the onion. We have been remembering one step at a time. And we don't have to remember everything, I would say, because each of us hold part of the story in the jigsaw. And so when I said in a previous recording that I was shown quite recently and told from the angelic realm that we are having a collective life review while we're here on earth. And that is because the healing needs to be while we're in the earth. Because we are born part of the earth. She is a massive being who is, I was having a conversation with a dear friend, and it's like, she ain't like some of the images of that we have seen of Mother Earth of, oh, it's a lovely maiden, lovely, softly maiden Mother Earth, very youthful. Yes, there's probably that aspect. Though she's also a volcano. She's also tornadoes and mountains and storms, tigers, so she's also crone. She's ancient. So we're held with that presence. There's a reason, a divine reason, if you like, why we're having this life review now. Because we're all waking up to so much. And we're realizing all these threads are weaving, and we're realizing the divine tapestry. It's all perfect. It's all perfect. Whatever thread we are weaving, singing, sounding, is needed to make this beautiful tapestry. And I can say this also personally, that it's taken this amount of grief, this amount of being taken away and stripped, felt like, to the bone, for me to face some shadows, some deep shadows, including the perfection one of being critical of myself. And that's such a deep wounding, I think, with most people, and hence we're seeing this in transhumanism and dissociation and narcissism. Yes. So now I've moved through a lot of the trauma and the shock and the heartbreak. I can be grateful, but it ain't been easy. And not many people have understood. Not many people. In my immediate environment. But many will understand this. It's part of loss. We're moving into a new phase where we will be understanding so much. And so individually, many of us have had, are having very challenging paths. And it is I'm being dyslexic today, I'm dyslexic. We're being equipped to find the gifts, the skills, to assist ourselves and each other collectively. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple more cards and then finish with some light language. Okay, so what the Spirit wish to assist? Whoa! That's, I got the same card as yesterday. Three of Wands. I love the movement in that. It reminds me of a fan as well. Let me see what she says in the book. Because threes are gateways for me. I mean, you got the two is like a pillar, but three is like a pillar, and then I'm going to go for that. It's like the the divine child. So, here we go. Expansion, foresight, momentum and growth. You've got that. The Three of Wands holds the energy of setting things in motion. It follows the execution of planning of earlier steps, now looks ahead with intention and a deepening commitment to act. The card speaks to vision becoming action. So it feels very feminine and masculine in partnership there. The future is opening, and with it comes the expansion of your dreams. You are stepping onto the path. You are ready. You are ready. Everything begins from here. You are precious. You are beautiful. You are loved. You are love. You are beauty. And you are precious. Who would have thought all of that's in that image? I love the movement. Like that. Okay. I'm asking, is there, I'm sorry, I'm going like, is there another one? Is there another yes? I'm saying breathe, remember to breathe. Humour. Oh my God. It's the same card as yesterday. Speak our truth. Clarity of vision. Be connected vertically, inwardly, externally. Shoot those arrows. Clarity, envisioning, sovereignty. Purity of heart. Also reminds me of the unicorn. Right. Whew. I felt a lot of grief being released, because when we connect with that pure heart and the unicorn, such power and such innocence, such magic, hope, tender-heartedness, wearing our heart on the sleeve. Wow, that's an interesting card. Psyche. I'm going to read from the book. She doesn't look totally at ease. She's like going, oh. Okay, let's see what this... I thought we'd have a completion, but it looks like there's something more going on that we're uncovering here. Which is interesting, because I feel the ego wants completion a lot. It's like, haven't we done enough? Haven't we lived enough cycles, enough lifetimes? What more? I can't deal with many more. So the energy of King there, it just feels very... To be able to cut away, actually. To cut away that baggage, those tendrils, those attachments, those threads, those knots, with precision and purity. So not with a blunt blade, but very sharp. I feel like crystal clear, to go right in a loving way, to go, that's got to go, that's got to go. And I feel the sun, because with the light coming through, is being very precise, very sharp. we are being stripped to the bone, some of us. I can't find Psyche. It's interesting because I feel that, to me, speaks of being hidden and then something being revealed, divine feminine. Here we go. Somewhere in the ancient history of humanity, our minds sensed another timeless mind. It whispered to us through the soft breeze as we sat in the tender grass, thinking how good it was. Nature was enough, and summoned us away with its dark nocturnal love, promising to take us to the ultimate heights of our being, and Psyche was born. And the words here, keywords: accomplishment, becoming, significant, and elevation. Interesting. Right, I'm going to ask from this pack a card. To complete. Right, I was told this one. And that one. Okay. And that one. All right, they're all, oh my goodness, they're all relevant. Okay. Right. Okay. Out of the mess, there is clarity. We are the map with that sacred tapestry, and maybe everything's being, look how it's all coming up from the hand there. There we go. The mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of all? That's a portal there. Grounding is really needed at this time. But also that position does feel very with humility, and we can be in divine communication with Mother Earth and allow ourselves to release into the earth as well, up into the sun. But I just love that. That's a nourishing, so being nourished and rooted and held. Prayer, beautiful prayer there. And so we each are this new life. And we are on this quest. It may be that we're in this dark night. Collectively, I think we are. Hence, we have the sun that keeps shining, and in the night, the aurora. And these angels, I've witnessed them when I went to the Arctic in 2010. I'd not experienced the Northern Lights before, and I felt pulled up, and a whole dimension opened, and there were beings. These aren't just pretty lights and, energy from the sun affecting the atmosphere and magnetic field and solar winds, and you can go into the science of that, but the experience is something else. That is accurate to me. That actually is not a imaginary representation. That is what I experienced. If you want to see angels in the physical, the aurora, I can't say the second part, the Northern Lights, that's where they do come as well. So we are held so held with divine ones. We are shining a light, and we are needed wherever we are, how we are, ever we are. It's not just a linear progression where some are further down the ladder. It's much more spherical. So I'm going to complete with some light language, and something else might come through when I do that. So let's take a breath and a pause. And they're saying, giving an image actually, when I was of holding the sun in our hands. And so humanity is arriving at a place where we can do that. Our own sun, our inner sun, our central sun. Precious life, as our higher selves are embodied more and more. And our guardian angels come through. There is a surrendering, a merging. Very much like this. They showed me today also when I was walking in the woods that there will be a not the majority, and there's no comparison judgment. We all have our different roles, if you like. We're all unique, but there will be a set number, a few, who will merge, will transcend, become like Bodhisattvas, angelic, here, and will hold a frequency around the earth, Mother Earth, be like guardians. So there are a few that will ascend. Quite a lot, actually. I don't know. 100? I don't know what's the exact number, but not millions, basically. I don't know, actually. Because what are numbers? But I was told a few. But when we start going into multi-dimensions and what are numbers? But a few. Not every one of us. And there will be a choice, even those that have the capacity, or it's a choice. But yeah, it was very, very beautiful being shown this. No kush uyatiana art yamat art isuku yamanataya ta. Yesuru koran nanamo isi iru. As we come home, so much of this wounding is going to be like a balm, gracefully just dissolved. So we do not need to worry, be angst-ridden, concerned, in fear. We got to clear it all on ourselves, by ourselves, here while we're the last chance. No, there is divine help coming in, because they're saying, reiterating that we have been working, exploring and playing, but on this path through different dimensions. And so because we've been doing this work unconsciously, as I said, that was needed some of the time, that's all arriving as well. That's all settling in. And some of it has been settled in and we don't realise quite yet, because we're in the physical. It takes, it's slower vibration. and saying all is in hand. Divinely. Yes, lots of love. I'm just feeling a lot of exuberance and energy and vibration and that sun. Joy. Many blessings. We have this. Is that phrase? We've got this. We're witnessing each other. We're holding each other. We're coming individually and in families and in groups to hold the collective. And we have choice because we are unique. Remember in our darkest hours to send and gift our sorrow, our heavy hearts, so we can be enlightened. Yeah, I think I'll leave that there. Lots and lots of love, and thank you for being you and being on this journey with me. Lots and lots of love.